Welcome to Hair Up, Bra Off podcast. We're here to be your new comfort fix with unfiltered conversations on random topics and gossip. As two women in their 30s, Kathryn, who's been chronically single, and Sue, who is happily married with 2 cats. So take your bra off, throw your hair up, and let's get into it. And men, if you're listening, take notes. Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode. We are so happy you're here with us. And in today's episode, I am going to share 2 stories that Sue hasn't heard about, and maybe you haven't either, and kind of gauge your reaction. This is what happens. I have TikTok simply because it tells me everything. That's my news. That's my news source is TikTok. But
yeah.
So the first story I'm going to talk about, which I thought was interesting, is the DoorDash girl, which you know nothing about. So it starts off with a girl posted a TikTok claiming that her DoorDash account, because she did deliveries, all of a sudden got shut off. They basically fired her and they didn't give her a reason. However, she had just recently filed a sexual assault claim on one of their customers that she had delivered on. So she framed the story as, filed this complaint, this report with DoorDash about being sexually assaulted, and then they responded with firing me and cutting off my account. So of course everyone hears that. And like, what is your initial thought when you hear that, Sue?
I think that's like super fucked up, of course, like of a, big company. They're not like a small company anyway.
Amen.
And so they can definitely just like hear her out. And it's also like typical because it kind of goes with like, I guess when you first hear that story, you're like, oh, wow, another tech company. Like Uber had a lot of claims of like sexual assault as well. And like Lyft and all these other apps in which a female interacts with a male, just because, as you guys know, and we are man haters here, like they cannot control themselves. You know what I mean? And it's just like wherever you have an environment in which a man is right next to a woman for whatever reason, there's a huge risk that is going to end up on something abusive, whether that's like, physical, emotional, verbal, sexual, whatever.
They always find a way. If
They'll
there's one
find a
thing I
way.
know,
They'll find a way.
a man will find a way.
Yeah.
So
a man will find a way to try to put a woman down and abuse her somehow because that's who they are. I mean, look at the man haters that we have in our comments.
Oh,
they
yeah.
must have gone through like 1,000 other podcasts before they got to us. Because we like have 4 fans. So how'd they get to us?
And
that's my question.
It's more intriguing that these comments aren't short. They're very wordy, lengthy comments.
Yeah,
and
which means
I appreciate it because I'm like, you know what? I'm just glad you're here. Can you respond to all of our videos? I need your feedback on episode 1 through 10, please, and then I'll get back to you.
It's just funny because, but anyway, going back to your point.
So this girl posted her TikTok, and of course it gained a lot of traction. Everyone was commenting, saying how upset they were at DoorDash. How could they do this? This isn't right. You need to do better. There was this uproar, la-di-da-di-da. And then of course DoorDash responds to what she had posted and the story going around. And we end up hearing, and I don't know exactly how the rest of this information came out, but we learned that what really happened is the girl had a delivery, and on the delivery details or the instructions, it said, leave at front door. And so when she got to the front door, she saw that the door was a little bit open. And so she decides to peek in, and she sees a man passed out on the couch naked. And so what she decides to do is then take a video of said man in his home while he's naked on the couch to then send to DoorDash and claim that she's been sexually assaulted by this guy.
Oh, wow.
So then everyone was like, wait a minute. Let's reverse back. You had us all in an uproar. You had us on our, like we were on your side. We had the pitchforks ready to go.
Yeah.
But now you're telling me it kind of seems like you sexually assaulted the guy in a way.
Right.
Because you took a video of him naked without him knowing. And try to revert that situation like you're the victim.
Right.
So
how did this come to light? Like, this was DoorDash saying that she did this, or does she?
Yes. So then I think DoorDash came out and said they followed up on it. Not only was it, she sent him the video of him, like, it clearly shows that she's creeping into his house. It wasn't that he was outside waiting
Yeah.
by the door. The video itself was probably evidence enough to say, wait, why are you peeking through his
Yeah.
door
Right,
when
right.
he's in his house, you know? So I think just from that video itself, DoorDash had at least somewhat enough information to then follow up with the guy to kind of see what was going on. And then they got the guy's side, and the guy had said that he just fell asleep on the couch. He didn't realize that that was going to happen because he said the instructions were leave at the front door,
Right. Yeah,
not
the instructions were not, "Come into my door. Come into my apartment."
yes.
Yeah.
Amen. And so, of course, there was a lot of backlash with the girl, and then this whole scenario where, women in a way can also sometimes be just as bad as guys. It is a reality. And hearing that this woman did this, and not only that, she came on the internet with her full chest
Right.
claiming this outlandish thing. And
Calling attention to herself. Yeah.
yeah. And it's just insane to me that someone thinks it's okay to, like, walk into someone's house. Like,
Some no,
that's what
no.
got me. Like, once I heard everything, like, one, she was lying, yes, and, DoorDash had responded, cool, but the second they told me that tidbit where she walked into his house, basically, I was like, "Well, damn.
Yeah.
Well, damn."
That's like trespassing.
Yeah, and then taking a video of someone when they're naked, when they're asleep, I mean, that's sexual assault, you
Totally.
know? Who
That's
knows
what
what
I'm saying.
she can do with that video.
Totally. Exactly. It's like not with their consent. It's
Mhm,
not great. It reminds me of that situation in which, remember, we came back from the tailgate and there was a naked man sleeping in
mm,
your dorm,
mhm, yes.
and I was like, sexual assault.
So, that story that Sue was mentioning is, I was living in the dorms at FIU, and I lived with 3 other roommates. We each had our own, like, dorm, our own room, and Sue came to visit me, and while I was at the tailgate, I told her just to go to my room and get ready, and when she came into my room, she realized there was a naked man, and, of course, she's freaking out because she knows, 1, Kat would never have a naked man in her bed. There's just no way. This isn't real.
Literally. This is not even real. It's not even a thing.
And I'll never forget you calling me, and of course, I'm like, "I don't think I'm hearing her right." And I was drunk. I was like, "I don't think I'm hearing her right. She's talking about some naked dude. Who's a naked dude? Someone else? Anyone got a phone call for a naked dude? Like, what the fuck is she talking about?" I was so not connecting the dots. And then what happened? Started saying sexual assault. Like, what was that part?
No,
If you can mention
I
that.
ran to the front, like to the front door manager or whatever, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"There's a naked man in my friend's dorm room." I woke up the whole like hall. Like everybody came out of their dorms and they were like, "What's happening?" And I was just like yelling, like, there's a naked man in my friend's room, and I know for sure he's not her boyfriend. I know for sure. I'm like, I know for sure she doesn't know him. They're like, what if it's like some guy? I was like, no. And this man was like, all I was like, there's no way my friend's sleeping with anybody. And they
Mm-hmm.
were like, okay, but like any chance that she knows him? I was like, zero chance. I have no idea who this man is. And I'm like, somebody wake him up and take him out. And it was like literally like the door to your like dorm basically was open, and there was like 10 people
Mm-hmm.
like standing outside just waiting for this man to be taken out naked and stuff. Yeah, so like the RA or the building manager, whatever, came in, took
Mm-hmm.
him away. And I was like, "Oh my god, thank God, like they took this man away." I was so scared. Oh my god, that was hilarious.
And I'm just at the tailgate having the time of my life, not realizing all the commotion that's happening in my dorm room. And so what ended up happening is that naked man so happened to be my roommate's boyfriend, who was at the tailgate pre-gaming really hard, got trashed, and he mistaken my room for his girlfriend's room, which
Sure.
sounds sketch.
Mistaken them.
I agree, but I will say the bathroom, when you exit the bathroom, my room is straight ahead. Like,
Mhm.
you go out of bathroom, you keep going straight and you'll hit my room. And I think what
Right.
happened is he, like, got disoriented in the bathroom, like, throwing up, and then just kept going straight thinking he got somewhere. He was like,
Mhm.
"Okay,
Mhm.
I got it," and then, like, found my room. Because he never came off like a creepy or coming on, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No,
Uh,
totally. It was definitely a
he
mistake.
Yeah. Ow.
Yeah.
But in
Well,
reality
I do think though that, like, it would have been different because he had nothing to do with our dorm. Like, the dorm was, or your dorm, it was
Mhm,
a women's only. So it's like different. It's
mhm.
like, why are you there naked in general? Like, you know
No,
what I
yeah.
mean? You shouldn't be. It's not your
And that's
place.
why I'm
You go
like,
somewhere else.
that's why I think it's important sometimes to wait when you hear these kinds of stories, especially once this whole DoorDash thing happened, is really waiting to see what the details are, what the report or what the investigation finds, because I mean, people are going after DoorDash. This woman's TikTok got millions of views, millions, and there was just thousands of comments on her side. You know how the internet is; they come quick.
They do.
Just as strongly they wanted to defend her, they went and double that once they found out she was lying.
Yeah.
I remember seeing more TikToks where she tried to saying that she still had to deal with seeing this guy naked, and I guess
Because
trying to
she
still
went in
spin
there.
it
Why would she?
as yeah, as the victim, and it's just like, it's not right. That's
Where
not
was this
something
thing
you
at
do.
again? What city?
Let me check, let me see. So when she originally posted this, there was 3.5 million likes, and there's
Wow, that's a lot of likes.
75,000 comments. Now, granted, the comments are now after everyone learned about what happened, so I feel like a lot of it is probably backlash, but this just shows how, like, much reach this video had and this
Yeah, yeah.
TikTok.
A New York-based driver,
So it was in New York?
Henderson, a New York-based driver, alleged that on October 12th, 2025, a customer was lying exposed on his couch. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Okay,
She
yeah,
posted
that's
a
it.
TikTok. Yeah. So it's a New York thing. Just interesting. She's in New York City. Yeah. Because like what you were describing, I'm picturing like a New York City
Really?
thing. Yeah, because I'm like normally like these doors, it's like it would be hard if it was like anywhere else because these
Mhm.
apartment doors are like shitty. Like they might
Uh,
close, they might not close. Because I'm
yeah.
thinking like in which scenario could it possibly be that like the door wasn't locked, you know what I mean? And like that happens to my door sometimes where it doesn't fully lock because they're just old buildings versus like everywhere else like you'd have a locked
No,
door.
that makes so much sense because when I heard that part of the door being somewhat open, I live in Florida and everything here is new construction. The houses
Right.
here are typically no older than like 25 years, and none of the
Yeah.
doors just always shut. So that is interesting that you mentioned that fact because New
Yeah.
York would make sense for that.
And it's also the fact that like she notices that he's in there naked. Like it's probably a really small place. Like
Mhm. Yep.
you know what I mean? Normally like
Mhm.
other places are like big, just bigger. But there's gonna be more of a difference between the door
Yep.
and the couch and versus like here is probably the most immediate thing you see because it's such a small apartment because we all live in like rat houses.
Shoe boxes. It's like you really can't miss the naked person in your place if you live in New York because it is there.
Exactly.
It's
Right,
on full
right.
display.
Anywhere else you might miss them, you know what I mean? But
Oh, yeah. Like, yeah,
here you
especially
see
here in
that.
Florida.
So yeah, yeah, for sure. Because my thing is also like with any of these people, why would you go online to like yell and like lose your shit? I don't know. I'm like just kind of maybe find. I understand like the need for public support, but I think
Mhm.
there's like other ways of asking for that versus having what the Gen Zs call like a crash out on
Yeah.
video.
I mean, for me, I understand why she went online, maybe not to the extent of her emotions, but I think if someone's feeling frustrated enough, especially in a scenario where they feel they have no control, the only outlet they have is going on social media. But I do agree it kind of hinders the focus to be on what happened rather than your emotions being all over the place. But now obviously she's been exposed, which thankfully, because this poor guy who I guess I haven't been able to find him, but I guess he or someone has said that he is planning on suing her. Yeah, it could have ended really badly if
Mm-hmm.
DoorDash didn't respond
That's crazy, man.
today.
Don't. So the lesson is like don't go online lying because you're gonna be found out.
Mhm.
And also
And
people are gonna like scrutinize anything else. That's now people probably searching for a lot of other things of her past that she's like lied about or said or whatever, you know? So now you're just like an open book for everyone to kind of
oh, yeah.
look into.
And I will say I do feel bad for the guy because it does show how fast something can spin and how fast something can spread.
Right.
And I do understand that can be a fear for some guys, but I also started noticing because of this story, a lot of guys, their response was, girls are always crazy. This is why
Yeah.
girls always
Honey,
lie. It's just fueling
honey, no.
the incels,
Like,
which is really unfortunate.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And but I think that's the damage that you do, right? Like as a woman to
Hmm.
the society by lying. Like you're just
Oh,
like
yeah.
now it's a bunch of these like fucking incels being like, yeah, like they're always lying about being raped or whatever. And it's like, no, honey, that's not it at all.
Mhm.
It's actually statistically speaking, that's not it at all. So
It's just unfortunate lines of events. Again, at least now that story's cleared up and everyone knows, and I guess wait and see what happens as far as, like, her repercussions because
has she
I
said anything else after that video?
oh, yeah, she's posted a lot.
What else has she said after
This is the crazier part is she's not really doubling down, so then the next video
Yep, I really lost my job.
hold on one second. You can tell
This
I do
the
my
previous
research well when I'm like, "I don't know, let me check right now."
Oh.
Okay, so even after everything came out, she's still claiming that she feels wrongfully terminated. She still is stating she's a victim, that she still came to drop off the delivery and saw him naked. She did report it to the police too.
interesting.
The guy also got his account banned, which, hey, you know what, at the end of the day, kind of fair because, he still was on the couch naked and
I
probably
guess
should have
the
prepared a
question
little
is whether
better.
I guess the question is whether it was like on purpose or not, like to leave the door open.
No, I don't think it because again, the order said leave front porch. Like it wasn't like come to door, knock, or didn't have any
Yeah.
instructions. I think if it didn't have any instructions and it just said, knock when you get here, it would have been a little bit more where it seems like he was trying
Yeah.
to do something. But it was
Yeah.
very much a leave or drop off and leave. Don't linger around kind of thing,
Because the other question then also becomes is like not that I mean you can do whatever you want in your house, I guess, and I am naked 99% of the time in my house. But he was sleeping?
Yes.
What time was this at?
Nighttime. Nighttime, I'm assuming.
Because the only way that you'd be sleeping knowing that a DoorDash is coming is if you're like very drunk and like
Well, no,
you
I mean, you also have to consider people have different schedules. They work different jobs. There are people who do overnight shifts, do graveyard shifts where they're working all night, or maybe they've been working for like 24 hours. There's, I think, a lot of reasons why someone could fall asleep if their DoorDash was coming.
no, you know why, Cap? Because here in New York City, you have to like buzz people in, buzz people out. Like
No,
I can't.
it wasn't in a building. It was
Oh,
at a
okay,
house. Yeah, it wasn't an
got it.
apartment thing.
Yeah, because I didn't then because if it's like an apartment, like I'm like if I fall asleep, like there's no way that that
Hmm.
I'm can expect that my food is gonna get
Yeah.
delivered.
No, this was a house. This wasn't an apartment, like leave front door and go kind of
Oh,
thing.
interesting. Okay.
And so I guess what she's also saying is DoorDash's response to her wasn't that, oh, you made this claim, this is why we're deactivating you. It was also that she took the video, she showed the customer's information as far as where he lived, and she
Yeah.
posted it online. And that's also what violated their terms, where
Yeah.
you can't just post someone's information like that. You can't just post this
Totally.
video for privacy. So
Yeah.
that's technically their reasoning for why they terminated her account,
Yeah.
not for reporting the SA.
Yeah.
Um,
But she wasn't sexually assaulted, right? Like, I mean,
no, again, I think what made me realize that she definitely went out of her way to look for something, or she clearly created this scenario by not just dropping off the food and leaving. She dropped off the food. She peeked through the door. She had enough time to take a video of the
yeah.
guy sleeping on the couch. And then claiming to be sexually assaulted. I think, yeah, it's just, and again, I just imagine if the roles were reversed, if it was a guy driver who stumbled upon this order
Right.
and did the delivery, saw the door open, and took a video of a naked woman on the couch, people would instantly think that he was in the wrong, you know?
100%. Of course. Yeah, yeah.
So I guess that's just how I see it. I just think she invaded his privacy.
100%. I agree. Yeah.
And that's where I'm like, this is not SA because you're entering into, you're allowing
Someone's
yourself,
home.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
like I don't want to word this wrong where I'm saying she was asking or looking for it, So I'm trying to be
Yeah.
like, she didn't ask for it, but she was there. She directed
She walked
herself
into
there.
someone else's house.
Yeah.
Just
And the
don't
door
walk
was
into somebody
open.
else.
And he was sleeping. I think it would be a lot different if, let's say, he was awake and naked on the couch and he was staring at the door. Then I'd be like, okay, that's creepy. Understand people who are on the couch and they just pass out waiting for their meal.
I mean, I've done it.
Yeah, exactly. So everyone, this is an edit. This is our future selves. And we had recorded this recent episode about the DoorDash girl. And as we edit it and about to post it, we just got hit with more news that I thought I would share, especially with Sue, since you were so invested in the story. And I actually have some new information. So, first off, when I was researching this, I wasn't getting evidence about the video being posted. So, the DoorDash girl took a video and posted it online.
She posted it.
People were saying that it was posted and then deleted, and that's why you can't find it. But I guess more people are coming out more and things are being posted because she was arrested. Shocker. And I finally was able to see the video that she posted,
Oh, wow.
which is her going up to the door, and the door is wide open, completely open, and the guy's on the couch with his pants off, just his pants. And I thought, that is wild. If the door was completely open, then I actually see where this is a problem, and that's not cool. But then I guess there's evidence, surveillance evidence from the guy that shows that the door was actually cracked open and she opened it all the way to
Mm,
take her video to show that he was just leaving it wide open for her to see when that wasn't
mm,
the case. And from what I read, it's because they saw the surveillance camera where she goes up to the door's only cracked a little, and then she opens it all the way, takes her video, and then does post it online. And once I heard that, I was like, that's insane that one, it's not even that she created this story, but she took the actions to try to be the victim. Like she took the time to stop, put the food down, open the door all the way, get her camera up, record herself, and then
mhm,
post it. And
mhm,
even filed a police report.
mhm.
And then, so that was insane to me. Once I finally saw that, I was like, okay, now I can say for sure
And now
that,
she's arrested.
yeah. So now she is arrested. She did the false police report, I guess, but she was charged on 2 felony charges of unlawful surveillance and, wait a second, I don't
And
know
a
how to
false
say
police
this.
report.
Dis Am I dyslexic? Unlawful surveillance and
A little bit.
dismention? I get it.
I guess trying to think of like another way of saying it.
I'll look it up. So I was right. So she was arrested on 2 felony charges of unlawful surveillance and dissemination of
Of
surveillance
image.
images
Yeah.
after she recorded, but not even that, posted it. And I guess
Right.
now I can say for sure that she
Spread
posted it.
something. Spreading something.
So now I know for sure that she did post it, people saw it, and luckily the guy had surveillance camera or somehow they were able to see.
What an idiot too of her being like, I'm just gonna do this and like hope that
Yeah,
there are no other cameras.
and just doing it full of spite and wanting to make it about her and be the victim,
Totally. Yeah.
when thank God that there's other ways to check up on stuff or verify someone's story. And I'm glad she got arrested because I feel people start seeing one thing online and then they'll start doing it, even though they see that what they did was stupid. Somehow, somewhere, someone would still try it.
Mhm.
So I'm
Mhm.
glad that she got arrested and now we'll see what happens. I wonder what she's going to say.
Yep. It's gonna be interesting. We'll
Hmm.
follow the case and we'll update the audience accordingly. and we'll also give our opinion on it.
Yes.
So you guys don't have
Amen.
to watch. You guys don't have to like watch 50 TikTok videos on this. We'll just give you
Yeah.
the AI summary. She's
We
basically
got you.
your chatbot if you want to know anything about this case,
Just call me your
and you can
owl.
just save your time. Give
I'm
you
your
the
owl.
We'll give
Amen.
you the tidbits of it.
So the next topic is going to be the Miss Universe and what happened with Miss Mexico, how the executive director basically berated one of the contestants, Miss Mexico,
Mm-hmm.
not only in front of the entire other contestants, but also in front of other people who work in the pageant on a live stream on Facebook, etc. So first I just want to say how grateful I am that this was caught on live stream because there was no way of hiding it, which I think happens a lot, especially in pageants. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
behind the scenes stuff go down that never really comes to light.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of dark secrets and stuff that have happened. And
Mm-hmm.
especially with this director, this isn't his first scandal that has happened with
Oh,
contestants.
interesting.
Now, I don't know how to say his name. What?
Yes.
I'm so bad at
I'm gonna say
names,
now what,
but
just in case.
now, so I'm just going to call him pageant director for the
Yeah.
story. But the pageant director, this isn't his first scandal. In 2016, he had an incident with Miss Iceland, and where he called her she's too fat and she needs to lose weight prior to the Miss Grand International
Wow.
2016, which was held in Las Vegas. And due
Wow.
to this statement coming out and her hearing him basically saying all these things about her, she decided not to compete. And
Mm-hmm.
his statement back to this controversy is he said that they give similar advice to other contestants who ask what they should do to improve in order to win. He also eventually said that he had spoken with Miss Iceland along with the company's vice president and clarified matters. So he's been known to basically behind the scenes say really rude things and just pushes it as, oh, I'm just trying to improve them. I'm trying to make it better. He's hiding behind that facade, basically.
So it's this man that looks like a woman, basically. Because I just looked
Yes.
him up.
And it gets better. It gets better. Another incident in 2025, he also publicly shamed Rachel, who was the winner of Miss Grand International 2024, through an Instagram post after she announced her decision to step down from her role. He said she had gone under cosmetic surgeries. He also posted another photo accusing her of altering her appearance surgically, and he got away with it
Interesting.
again. Then again,
Mm-hmm.
now, November 2025, he was caught insulting the contestant from Mexico. And the whole reasoning was that I guess the contestants are supposed to post on their social medias about the competition and also that it's in Thailand. They have it in like I guess you can say duties as contestants.
Contract.
And
Yeah. Okay.
and he had reminded Miss Mexico stating you need to publish, you need to say something on social media. We haven't seen anything. And she goes, "Oh, okay, yes, I understand, but first let me get in talks with my team and make sure that I'm supposed to post X, Y, and Z and make sure it gets posted."
Mhm.
So not necessarily saying, no, I'm not going to post it. You're wrong. It was more of give me a chance to get with my team, then we'll post it and move on. But he kind of took it as, oh, wow. So we're stating that you need to do it. And instead of just listening to what I'm telling you, you're claiming you have to talk to your team, which is a very reasonable thing. I
Yeah.
mean, these contestants have a brand to maintain. There's a lot of people behind these women competing,
Mm-hmm.
brand wise, companies, managers, and so
Right.
on, so on. So it makes sense that she would say, give me a second, let me just make sure.
So what else happened?
Bro, gonna get a drink of water. I'm gonna get a drink of water. She's already like, wait, I'm
I'm
waiting.
invested. I'm invested, Kat. The hell? I'm like, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is, I totally understand that because one of my past jobs, when I would speak to the communications director, she's very on top of they schedule posts. They're very strict about that. They want to make sure they're not posting too much or too little, or the verbiage, it's a lot that goes behind these posts that people don't realize, especially if you're
Mhm.
trying to be on a platform about Miss Universe where it has a really big reach. And I think because someone wasn't just taking his word, because he probably feels that at his level and his participation in the program and how he thinks he's top dog, that he was offended that she didn't just bow down to what he was saying, and was probably offended that he feels these other people were more important than what he was trying to tell her. So to
Mhm.
retaliate, he called her out during, I guess what you would say, a meeting, which was live stream, thank goodness, where he gets her to stand up and basically is trying to make her an example of, oh, you were supposed this, and this. And when I saw the video, it's very hard to understand him, at least for myself. I couldn't actually hear word for word what he was saying, but you can
Mhm.
get the gist of where he was going at. Excuse me. And basically saying that she is a dummy for not listening to the guy who will make or break you, using
Mm.
his influence and his position to berate her and calling her a dummy.
Mhm.
And I'm so glad that she took a stand against that and she decided to walk out. I think that's a very
Yeah.
difficult thing to do in her position
Right.
because, this is a pageant. You're supposed to be on your best behavior. You're not supposed to cause any drama or
Yeah.
bring any attention your way, especially if it's bad. But she
Yeah.
still decided to stand up for herself, walk out. And I also want to say I appreciate all the women who followed after her because
Mhm.
as the women started walking out, he said that if you walk out with her, you won't be able to participate, which is insane to say. Like,
Right. Right.
again, using his power to dictate the situation
Totally.
and
Yeah,
make it
like
about
power
him.
tripping. Exactly.
And this man, he is 60 years old. He is a media personality and I guess business person, whatnot, until he went into pageantry, in which he's been a part of it for a very long time, since I think it was 2007. And
Mm.
so he's been at it. So I can only imagine all the things he has done in his past and how he has behaved. And
Totally.
to be honest, he's always gone away with it. As I
Yeah.
mentioned the other times where he has called out contestants saying that they were fat and they don't look good, and he's trying to assert his idea of who the winner should be by making these remarks. When like, it's like,
Totally.
bro, you're not the judge. You don't get to decide. You're just there to hold the event. Well,
Exactly.
luckily this was live stream because you can't go back from that. You can't
Right.
edit, you can't erase. And
Mhm.
now he's getting the full backlash that he deserves. And once, all of this started reaching out to millions and millions of people, he's getting a lot of bad press. He went in front of the cameras and started crying, apologizing. And it is the most unserious form of crying where it almost
Oh my
reminds me of
god.
Kim Kardashian. Where he like goes into a crying face and then he's back up like, I'm so
Oh
sorry,
my
just like
god. I need to watch all
apologizing,
this.
really dramatic. You can tell that it's all for show, just how he's dressed and how he brought the press forward, kind of like a news conference. And what's wild to me is that he probably has done so much again in his past behind the scenes where people have felt that he was disrespectful, but no one has come forward
Right.
because even with the other incidences, nothing came about it. They know that when they speak up about him, yes, it will be looked at, but will it ever change anything? No.
I also think it's hard to kind of bring up any allegations against him in general because I'm assuming this is more of like a lot of these women are like rotating, if that makes sense. So you're kind of like experiencing him in the beginning, then you're like probably
Hmm.
you hit a peak, right? At like where you're like, wow, I hate this man, and then it's like over. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
And
A
like then
hundred
it's a
percent.
new group of people, and so
Yeah.
it's like difficult for someone to get like, I mean, he must be really bad and like a really big asshole because it's like
Hmm.
clearly whatever amount of like the weeks that people spend with him, they hate
Yeah.
him, but then it's like a new group of women comes through, so it's just hard to kind of have like to say like he repeatedly does this because like you just don't have the same group of women coming up over and over again, you know? So
Yes. I agree, but then I also like the other incidences is where he's comment on Instagram with these contestants. Like, it's not once they leave that room and program, they're done with him. No, he goes out of his way to then also comment via social
Yeah.
media and
Yeah.
interviews. And I think he just doesn't care. It's not he doesn't leave it where he just does it at work. He does it outside too. And so
Yeah.
but this whole thing reminded me of I remember in one of our podcast episodes, and this is stuck in my mind, Sue, since the moment it came out of your mouth where you were like, it takes a village to raise kids, and it also takes a village to assault kids, because at the time there's a lot of people around who know what is going on, but they never come forward, allowing it to continue
Mhm.
to happen. And in
Mhm.
this instance, I thought, man, everyone who's never had the chance or the ability to come forward, or even his coworkers, people around him who know him, who probably have never come out, have allowed this man to just continue spewing whatever he's spewing. Because mind you, this is him when he knows he's being watched. Imagine him when he's not being watched around these
Totally. Yeah.
contestants. And
Right.
I'm glad that now, hopefully, something happens to him. I'd be very
Well,
disappointed
it seems
because
like I saw he got dismissed.
yes, but I feel like I'm hoping it doesn't turn into a we push him to the side and then he comes back sort of
Yeah.
thing, you know?
Yeah.
Because I think the other issue is women will see that he gets reported on, but then they notice nothing ever happened, so what's the point of reporting it?
Mm.
And I feel like that's maybe always been how he got away with it because people have known that he's been known to say things and be mean, and that was his
Yeah.
reputation. And so
Right.
they never felt reporting it would change anything, which just allowed it to go on until he was caught on live
Yeah.
stream.
I just think that we need to just get rid of all of these like pageants, Miss Universe, whatever, Miss whatever it is.
I
It's time.
agree with you, but then I also think that it's a good thing. I don't see anything wrong with it. I think these women come forward and they are working hard to compete. They do work with the communities. They do try to help others and it can be empowering. It's just a lot of times that mission or that statement or that idea gets lost. And I think a
Yeah.
huge part of it is this guy's a great example when he's going on Instagram and other places just berating them based off their looks.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally. But I mean, that's also what the whole thing is about, though. It's like who's the prettiest person, technically,
Mhm.
right? Like it's a competition about looks, and so it's hard. That toxicity kind of like spreads because it is about like being skinny and it is about the looks,
Mhm.
which is why I'm like, if you want to do good and like do charity work, whatever, I mean, like, why don't we just do like a, GoFundMe and we just like vote on Instagram on who we want to represent the country, I guess. And then we're like, all right, here's
Yeah.
all of our money and you go and freaking like do this outside of the organization of Miss Universe or Miss World or whatever the names are for the different
Yeah.
things.
And I
Because
agree.
that's the
I
other
guess
thing is like there's a lot of men involved in those
yeah.
organizations. They love that
Yes.
shit.
Mhm.
So we're
And
better off just like creating one with women and like voting
mhm.
online or some shit.
It's like when I think back to Miss Congeniality, and that's what I would hope every pageant is like. Although looks are heavily put forth, I also think it's a great way for like womanhood and women helping each other and making one stronger and showing to be part of your community and blah blah blah. And it's always nice to
Mm,
cheer someone on, Like, "Oh, I'm from here, let me cheer them on." But, again, you have these men who are part of it that kind of take that joy away when it's more about berating them and
take the
whatnot.
joy away as per usual. They
Yeah,
can't stop taking our
amen.
joy
Here's
away
another
everywhere.
example. Mm.
Yet another example. He definitely has a lot more that he's done in his life, like
Oh, yeah,
that is
and he's
mean,
been a
right?
part of
Because
pageants from 2007. So since two
honestly, I think the moral of the story is
yeah.
I from these two stories is like never lie about being sexually assaulted. Keep it to yourself. And if you're not going to make this entire thing better, because Kat, only 1% of the reported rapes
Mhm.
end up in a conviction. That
Yes.
means that if you're falsely reporting it, you are actually that 99% in the back, I think.
Amen.
Don't make
I
false
agree.
accusations.
Thank you so much for being with us. and tell your friends, men, or enemies we're not picky. Follow Hair Up, Bra Off everywhere you scroll. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you next time.